analysis.
How is the assessment made what child deserves to eat and what child doesn't?
Hey everyone, welcome back. So, you just saw a little piece of that exchange. And let's be honest, it's exactly what we've come to expect from Representative Omar and the rest of the squad, isn't it? It's all emotion, all heartstrings, and zero facts. She is a master at framing the debate in a way that makes the other person look like a monster. And what you're about to see is a full-on masterclass in political theater, trying to paint a good man, Mr. Vaort, who is just trying to talk about the budget as someone who wants to starve children. It's a complete bad faith argument from start to finish. We're going to watch the full clip right now. I want you to watch this with me and listen very carefully. Don't just listen to her accusations. Listen to his actual answers. See if what she says he's doing is what he's really doing. And hey, if you're as tired of these political games as I am and just want to hear the facts, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Van, for your testimony today. I wanted to talk a little bit about how your budget proposal is going to have impact on the millions of vulnerable children across this country. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the impact that I see that it will have, because I don't feel like you or this administration or Trump gets it. In America, 1 out of 5 children struggle with hunger. And for many of these children, the free lunch and breakfast that they get in school is often the only meal they get to have. Yet the budget that you're proposing, and this administration and Trump is proposing, makes a $1.7 billion cut from school meals over the next 10 years. A cut that largely would result in more than 29,000 children losing access to free school meals program in my home state of Minnesota alone. What this budget does is quite literally take food out of the mouths of children. How can these kids be expected to be present and fully present in classes, to learn in the same space as other kids? How can we expect them to reach their full potential? And how can we expect them to be able to be on the same footing as other kids around the world? I often say that budgets are a value statement, as you have many times in this committee. And you said that we are committed to having promises kept. What does this budget and your proposal in cutting the child nutrition programs say about the promises that we want to keep to children and where our values really are?
Thank you for the question, Congresswoman. We don't think that our budget cuts the programs that you refer to. Specifically, we think that it's important that high-income schools that are currently grouped together right now to receive benefits because they're grouped with low-income schools, that's unfair for the programs themselves. Similarly, some of the reductions that you've talked about are with regard to one-time rescissions that are not needed to be able to cover all of the children that we currently project. And we know Congress does the same analysis.
How is the assessment made what child deserves to eat and what child doesn't? My understanding is that we should care about every single child arriving in that school, having the resources that they need to be able to get educated and be fully present. We have parents who might fall off the threshold of whatever that income is, who might not be able to pack a lunch or a breakfast or milk or a cookie or an apple for their kids. Should those kids not be able to have meals in the school so that they can be fully present in that classroom? Is that what this administration values?
We believe it's important that communities that are otherwise ineligible to receive these types of benefits not receive these benefits, and that only the communities that are eligible receive them.
But how is the judgment of what the value of the benefits is made? We are talking about children in our classrooms. We are talking about America's most vulnerable. Earlier, you talked about the harvest box. You said if they are not home, that they should pay a price.
No, I didn't say
Just that was the example you used, that if you're not home, then you pay a fee.
No.
So what penalty would you think should we propose for people who might not be home to receive juice or cereal box or a canned meat?
I specifically was not referring to suggesting that they should pay a penalty. The point I was making, Congresswoman, is that we don't think that it matters where you are on the income scale to be able to determine a certain level of responsibility to receive in the mail that which you are expecting to receive in the mail. We think that human beings are responsible from that standpoint.
Wow. Okay. Just wow. Let's break this down because that was a lot. Right out of the gate, she hits him with the ultimate emotional nuke. What this budget does is quite literally take food out of the mouths of children. This is what they always do. They don't want to debate the policy. They want to frame you as a moral monster so they don't have to engage with your facts. She says, I don't feel like you or this administration or Trump gets it. Oh no. I think Mr. Volt and President Trump get it perfectly. What they get is that you can't just have an open-ended piggy bank with no rules. And she doesn't like that one bit. So, she claims there's a $1.7 billion cut. And what does Mr. VA do? He immediately corrects her. He says, we don't think that our budget cuts the programs. He tries to explain what's really happening. He points out that the change is about high-income schools, rich schools, folks that are currently grouped together with low-income schools, and getting benefits they are not entitled to. He's trying to stop waste, fraud, and abuse. He's trying to make the program fair. He's not cutting anything. He's fixing a loophole to make sure the money goes to the actual poor kids who need it. He literally says it's unfair for these rich schools to be in the program. He's talking about eligibility. And what does she do? She completely ignores his entire point. She doesn't debate him on the eligibility of high-income schools. No, she just doubles down on the emotion. She hits him with that loaded, disgusting question. How is the assessment made of what child deserves to eat and what child doesn't? What a question. What a slimy bad faith way to argue. He is not saying some kids deserve to eat and others don't. He's the acting budget director. He's talking about program eligibility. He's talking about rules and numbers, but she has to twist it. She has to make it sound like he's sitting in a dark room deciding which 8-year-old gets a sandwich and which one starves. It's just political theater and it's gross. And did you catch that pivot? When she wasn't getting what she wanted, she suddenly brings up this harvest box thing and she flat out accuses him of saying that if people aren't home, they should pay a price, a fee. He had to stop her. He literally says, no, I didn't say that. He has to correct her on the spot because she's just making things up to fit her narrative. He explains he was talking about a level of responsibility to pick up a package you're expecting in the mail.